Hello everyone, I am the Firemane, and today, granted I've already started building it, but I'm going to be building a, walker. Yeah, that's right, I'm going to be building a walker. I kind of forgot, since it's like, oh, I don't know, what time is it? Hold up, I need a clock over here. I think I've been up since around, oh, I don't know, I think freaking 12, 11, yeah, 11 a.m. PST yesterday. And by yesterday, I mean the 4th of December. Right now it's the 5th. Oh boy, so I've been awake for nearly a whole day, maybe 24 hours or so. But anyways, let's get back to this project here. Yeah, so, walker tank. What? Uh, SMG walker tank, I think it's how it's described. But yeah, so far, this is my frame. I kind of started building it ahead of time without really thinking of, hey, let's make a video about this. Um, but yeah, walker frame. Let's go. Let's go. Let's do this. And I have built, or completed, my new SMG walker. I am fucking tired. Just redesigning this whole fucking friggin' thing. From one design to the next design into these to I would do so with other designs in my head. This one actually stuck surprisingly. Now we're gonna test in the rank battle. Yeah, that was the work. Where is the team headed? Oh boy. I guess we're going to the caves. I already have a bad feeling. I am the slowest piece of shit ever. Yep.
Rail drone spotted.
This is where I go to
SMG
defend,
hover spotted.
because fucking hell.
SMG hover spotted. Rail walker spotted.
I forgot how to do freaking shrink the map. Balls.
Rail walker spotted.
Oh, la 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 la. Really? Is this how this match is gonna go?
SMG hover spotted.
Shit, I think this is how this match is gonna go. Holy shit! That was amazing. That was freaking awesome. Oh boy. Like, breath holding. It was done. Well, I gotta work on this shit. It's noticeable. I have to work on this ship. I'm not used to making walkers. I'm more used to making hover tanks and wheel tanks rather than this nonsense. And to be quite honest, I still say wheels. I still say wheels are a better option than freaking legs. Granted, the advantage with legs is that you can climb over the freaking terrain, which I guess is advantageous when you're a sniper. But I don't know, yet I'm having to balance CPU quite heavily with armor, and I'm very, very, very slow, so I'm not able to climb terrain fast. And really, if you're too heavy, you can't climb up terrain like this. Hence why it took me forever, because I was trying to keep this design as compact as possible, and even heck, even you may have noticed that in the fast-forwarded portions of this build, I was trying to squeeze in the guns by rotating them and just like kind of breaking the rules and being like they're next to each other sort of by like one extra block. From what I've noticed, that's what I noticed, that I was only able to squeeze them in by one extra block, and I'm just like, you know what, it isn't worth it, let's just do it like this, and this is what I got. I don't like how this part right here is so exposed. Really, if I could, I could shrink this corner to bring them in closer, so my front is more defended. However, with how the legs are positioned, they're not positioned evenly. They're positioned so that the front legs are higher, so it will cause the front part of the bot to tip down, causing the guns to aim forward at an angle, which causes them to not hit each other when, well, sometimes not to hit each other when I'm firing. I still say these shields are fucking worthless. It's like, these things, worthless. Worthless. I don't even use these things. They're good if you get up to the freaking... I'd say once you get into freaking the 7... Wait, what do I need? Yeah, tier 7 shields? Once you get to the freaking tier 7 shields, maybe up. Okay, maybe it's a bit better to have the shields because of how strong they are then. But everything below just sucks ass. Doesn't feel like they do anything worthwhile. Still love my radars. And this thing. I don't know why, but I've noticed there's a decrease in radars. And I'm just like, really, guys? Like, maybe I'm just looking at it from a very, assume that everyone's a dumbass side of things. But really, having these two together allows you to just see so much of the map if everyone on your team has radars and receivers. It's like you can see everything where the enemy is because your entire team is radar, like no matter what. And a jammer. I only use one jammer really. I don't really see a benefit to having more than one. I just use one jammer. Granted, I have like 4 extra tier 5 jammers because I bought the Overwolf when it was on sale, which I said is a good deal. And then the flipper. Granted, I've noticed that when I ever use the flipper with legs, it is nearly impossible to get back right side up. It's because of how the legs, I'd say it's because of how the legs are designed. It's difficult to flip yourself right side up, so I don't know. Granted, I do like how if you jump on a walker, you immediately just, well, maybe it's not so much that I like it, but it's just, you just correct yourself and just come back onto the ground instantaneously. As it's advantageous to that, I like it. I'd see, that's what, okay, let's correct that, not that I like it. I can see how it's useful, that instantaneous, like you jump and then as you're coming down you just stop and just come back down in a sudden stop. I can see how that's pretty good when you're a flyer, when you need to just stop immediately. You can just hit the brakes if you have reverse thrusters and just whoosh, come to a complete stop with walker legs. I'm digging these guns. I just got tier 8 lasers and I'm loving them. Tier 8 SMGs. I'm not very fond of the cubes, of the armor cubes I'm going into into tier 7. Granted, I'm surprised that with how I've built this tank, well, not this thing, really, I just call it things now, this thing, that it can be pretty tanky even without shields. Granted, in the match, in the demonstration of this bot of mine, I've noticed that when my legs got shot off, I was just sitting there, and and the enemy targets I was poking, like dealing damage to, were chewing through my armor very easily, but I had the damage to penetrate their blocks faster and bring them down. So I'd say the design I've come to in my, I think, nearly a year of playing Robocraft, which is this car-like design, is pretty good, since it defends, since really you want to protect your seat very, like, just protect that shit, so most of the weight is in the back and the front is just flat and thin. Granted, having it so thin and flat like this makes it susceptible to just being chopped off by freaking plasmas, but it's still pretty good, in like, from what I've experienced so far. I still say the shields are worthless until you get past tier 7. Until you get... Was it tier 7? Yeah, tier 7? Tier 7, tier 8 shields. It's like, take your pick. I'd say tier 7 is, like, good shields to start off with, but everything else below can just bugger off. My plasmas, if they all hit one spot where there's just nothing but shields, it will just chew through those shields and then chew through whatever blocks they have with the remaining damage that wasn't absorbed by the shields. So it's like, lower tier shields just don't make sense to me. I never had them for the year. Like in... let me tab here for a moment and see how much... 187 hours I've played this game. Granted, it doesn't accumulate to a year's worth, but I have been playing this game for a year, but not in long spurts that I have been recently, more like 15-30 minute spurts every now and then. But yeah, I've noticed that these shields, these lower tier shields, just suck ass, and I don't know why I have them or why I use them with this bot. This is a waste of CPU in my opinion. Another design I'm really fond of, if I still have it. Oh yeah, this is the base design. I always start with white blocks. Like this is essentially the walker's base, like the frame of it, but with wheels. This is what I've had for the past 3-4 months, maybe even less than 3 months. I assume less than 3 months because I just came up with this build recently. I've been rolling around with this build in tier 6 matches, not with white blocks, but like, you know, tier 6 blocks, tier 5, tier 6 blocks, a mixture of those blocks. And this build, even without shields, is surprisingly tanky and can go face first into other tanks with shields and come out relatively working. Most of the times I lose my tier 1 wheels because I haven't really bought any other wheels. I haven't seen a need to buy any other tier wheels because of with the weight of this build, it's light enough to where 12 tier 1 wheels can carry this frame. It's light enough to where it can carry this frame and still be effective. And with 12 wheels, it's enough redundancy to that no matter what you will always have enough wheels to keep moving. Sure, you might not be moving fast or you have your steering shot, but you're still mobile. And you're still able to get from point A to point B, which counts. And because of how wide it is, you can fit the guns so much easier than I can with this, where I'm trying to micromanage how big it should be, how thin it should be, the weight, the legs. Like, granted these are tier 7 legs, but the weight of this frame was slowing me down. And really, as a walker, your legs are precious. If you lose your legs, you are fucked beyond all reason. So, having your bot benefit from the speed of the legs, well, really, actually no, walker legs don't have that much speed. So, let's rephrase that. Walker legs have very limited speed compared to wheels or hovers or flyers. So really, you don't want to hamper the speed of the legs. You want to keep it as light as possible so you can climb up walls, benefit from the wall climbing, and if you're a sniper, holy shit, you have stability. Your bot isn't moving, it's secure, so you're always going to be accurate. But, I don't know, I might not roll with legs anymore. I might stick with hovers, to be quite honest, or wheels. Speaking of hovers, really, this is my other build, my hover. It follows the same concept as this, where it's 6 tier 1 wheels. This one is 12 tier 2 hovers, I believe. Let me check here for a moment. Yeah, 12. Oops. Yeah, let's just go here. It's 12 tier 2 hovers on a white block frame with heavy blocks on the front to counteract the weight that's in the back, because it's the same frame I'm using for the wheels, but just flipped. It's on its top really, and the weight is still in the back, so the front needs to be even with the back. I have thrusters. I believe this build, this one, and I was hoping I can put thrusters on this one, but with the CPU, with how close I'm reaching the CPU limit, it would be a waste, and with how heavy it is and how slow I move, it would make no difference. But with my hover, I have thrusters and my usual setup with the specials. I think I also have oh yeah, just a tier 3 jammer and a first flipper, because I usually don't roll around with this type of build past tier 3 or tier 4. But again, even in tier 3 and tier 4, just a white block frame with a heavy block front, I can do pretty well. Granted, I can't front line, which is what people mistake me to think because of how big my bot is. They think I can tank, but really, white blocks in tier 3 are not meant for tanking. Not really. If I could, I would switch the lasers I currently have on here for plasma launchers, so I can just be artillery and just stay in the back and fire on, because I'm pretty good with my shots. Not the best, but yeah, I can get the shots in pretty accurately. And yeah, they're my friends, just trouncing me because I'm oh yeah. In conclusion, for my bot, I'm not sure how long this video will be after I put it through the rendering cycle. Well, editing, then rendering. This bot, I like the benefits. I like that I'm able to walk up terrain, take advantage of height. I'm also a little bit, because I'm able to climb up terrain and get higher, I'm also able to shoot more accurately upon flyers, which, to be quite honest, I've been seeing flyers left, right, and center. I've been in matches where the enemy team is nothing but flyers, and it pisses me off because because I mainly roll as plasma, and I've been getting accurate with my shots, been getting more accurate with my shots, but with so many flyers in the air, it just gets annoying, and it makes me want to switch to SMGs, which is why I bought tier 8 SMGs, because I want to be an anti-air platform, because fuck you flyers, Stop breeding! Just stop breeding, guys. Come on. No. Just no. I like the benefits, as I said. The height advantage is great. I'm not so fond of their speed limitation. If you don't have more than 6 legs of one kind. And granted, from what I've heard from friends, the tier 10 legs are much more faster than what I currently have. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say that these legs are slower compared to tier 10s or tier 8s and etc, etc. I don't like their fragility, their, like how fragile they can be, their speed, how vulnerable and out of control you can get if you even lose 2 or 1 of your legs. Like, how to explain this? Well, if you roll Walker, I'm sure you've experienced the loss of legs. Heck, even in my demonstration match, you saw that I was just immobilized and just unable to do anything. Because of how big they are, you can't put that many, and they take up quite a bit of CPU. So you have to balance, again, you have to balance your load between mobility, damage, and armor. And your 90% of what, maybe not even 90%, maybe less than 90%, is going to be your armor. It's going to be your armor blocks, unless you roll a twig, as I call it. You're essentially a twig, but you have the power and speed. You have power and speed on your side, so you can avoid taking damage. But yeah, if any of these legs get shot off, you lose all control. It's hard to move forward or backwards or left and right reasonably well without exposing any sort of parts that have been blown off or exposing your cockpit if that chunk has been like if it's been sliced off. It's hard to turn that part away from your enemy if you've lost 2 or more of your legs. And since you have to manage your CPU limit, and because of how big they are, like this is how big the bay is. And granted, my bot is in the center and expanding out and all that. But from if I'm able to calculate this right, I'm not sure. Well, actually, no. I need to actually run if I can fit 12 legs on just a demonstration twig. But with this build alone, 6 to 10 legs maybe is all you're gonna get out of that. And granted, that's 2 wheels less. Like, I'm calculating this in wheels because I've always rolled with wheels. That's 2 wheels less. That's 2 wheels less that you have to fall back on if your other mobility stuff gets shot off. And if I'm to understand this right, the weight of your bot is distributed between like legs, wheels, and hovers. So if 2 gets shot off, then the other parts of the mobility have to compensate for the loss of the legs, which means that you'll be moving slower, funkier, and just I don't know. This is mostly speculation from what's been explained to me in simple terms. Granted, I've been taking a look in myself and finding out the more complex matters like Triforce armor, but I'm not sure how relevant Triforce armor is anymore. I've seen people like Vegetative roll Triforce armor and just trump people with shields. Granted, that was a while back. I haven't seen him play recently or him stream, so take what I say with a pinch of salt when it comes to Vegetative. He's a good player, but I just haven't seen him online recently. Granted, he has his channel and his videos, so go check him out. Plug for Veggie, because I dig his videos. I think he's a cool guy. Yeah, I think that's really all I have to say about this. If I continue on anymore, talking like this with such little sleep, I'll just be repeating myself and rambling. So yeah, this has been my walker. Well, my attempt at a walker, and not really feeling satisfied with it. It's like it's just not for me, I guess. I know some friends who are just overly hyped to get the walker legs and build Tachikomas from Ghost in the Shell. I think I've seen one like legit Tachikoma from Ghost in the Shell, and I give them all the props. But I'm not that creative. It's like uh, I'm not that creative. If you see, if you notice, I really I don't really get creative with my designs. I just stick with what's doing the best with what I've got, and this is what's been doing me the best with what I've got for the past year or so. So yeah, I think I'll wrap this up before I continue on any longer. Thank you for taking the time to watch my videos, and I hope to see you on the Robocraft battlefield one day. Later, mates!